Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Okay, I already cheated on my live, which I just finished. I did at the beginning of the video do a sort of a really quick review of this deck because it arrived today just before I did my second part of the live. Not my first part. That's when the computer went haywire and I ended up closing down for a bit and waiting for it to happen. And while I was waiting for it to happen, this arrived and I wanted to pull it out and have a little bit of a look, and I ended up having a look at it online and having a bit of a play, done a few readings. So it come in this really nice box, okay, a bit different from the other boxes. Now this is by Jane Wallace again, so absolutely gorgeous. Now let's have a look at what it actually says here. So it says 78, let me just fix this up. Okay, 78 specifically commissioned cards and a 64-page book for insight, wellness and healing. So with specially commissioned illustrations by Hannah Davies. So I want to honor her in this, by Hannah Davies, that are filled with powerful imagery inspired by the constellations, lunar cycles, planets and night sky. The Moon and Stars Tarot will help you to nurture your intuition and tap into messages sent from above the earthly planes. The accompanying book provides interpretations for all the cards and several card spreads, which range from a card of the day to a more complex layouts for deeper insight. Jane Wallace is the founder of Psychic Sisters, a team of clairvoyants working from a concession at Selfridges department store in London. She has a monthly column in Fate and Fortune and is the author of the Magical Nordic Tarot, which I've got, Tarot, the Crystal Power Tarot and the Oceanic one, but I don't have the Angel Tarot. That's the other deck that I want to get. Okay, she has got some books as well. And Hannah Davies is an award-winning freelance illustrator living and working beside the seaside in Wales in UK. Okay, the decks are done by Cisco Books in London and New York. Printed in China, of course. But yeah, absolutely cool, really awesome book. Here, I think it's got quite a lot in it. Let's have a look. We do have an introduction. We do have the Moon and Star rituals. There's a few there, which I'm not going to go into too much detail. I did have a look at that on my on the live. So how to begin a reading, how to connect with the deck, it gives a deck interview. Then it's got some spreads, card of the day, wishes of fulfillment, shooting star, present, past, present and future. Then we've got the moon cycle, what is blocking me. And we do have an eye nebula, open my eyes to healing spread, a 10 planet spread. So I like this eye nebula one, which is quite cool. So this is card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 1 in the middle, then 2 up here, then you got 3, then 4, 5, 6 and 7. So let's have a look. So we have reason behind the obstacle, the complication it has brought or brings, why it is hidden, lesson to learn, guidance needed, and then next step. So it's quite cool. And then you've got the 10 planet spread, the 10-day spread, the next 10 days, which is interesting. Then you've got the zodiac wheel balancing emotions. Okay, then it goes through for each card. Like you've got the full here, and I did look at the full on my live. It does talk about beginnings, protection, change, adventure, openness and freedom. It does describe the scene, what they see. Then it talks about the meaning, which is Jane does the meaning as change here. The full starts a new journey, awaiting exciting opportunities to come. You may be looking for new adventures or a fresh start. This card comes up when you need fresh challenges and desire for freedom and adventure. However, think carefully before diving into something new or unknown. Then it gives you a star message, for example, have faith in yourself and believe in new beginnings. Then it's got the moon magic affirmation, I embrace change and I'm ready for something new. Then you've got the magician, and of course she uses skill for this, but its other keywords include juggling, openness, magic, creativity, trickery, craftiness and mastery. Okay, and then you've got this. Then you've got the star messages, you're juggling with life's journeys and are ready for whatever the universe throws at you. Or the moon magic affirmation is, I work hard to achieve my goals. So quite cool. It does go into a bit of depth here, but let's have a look at the imagery. For those that haven't had a look at my live, let's have a look at the imagery here. Now I have played with these cards, so they're not all going to be in order. I did go through and put the major arcana back into order. I love the imagery. The imagery is so cool. I love Jane's decks, and what I love about Jane's decks too is they're great for when you're they're great for learners as well, because you do have the keywords here. The keywords really do help if you are starting out. You can read the cards straight from the box. Of course, once you have a little bit more experience with tarot, you can sort of elaborate with your meanings, and your knowledge of tarot does expand into much more, of course. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous deck. Okay, so we've got wands, which are also, I put in order, just so that you can see. It is a deck, of course, but with the keywords, it does make it really, really simple to use. Really cool. Then you've got, of course, the court cards, the page, which is really good because it does give you those keywords again, which gives you that sense of which you could use if you wish to. Okay, now you've got these cards are not going to be in order at all. They are all cups, but they're not going to be in particularly any order. So again, you can see the keywords are at the bottom, and it does sort of help you, does have some really cool imagery, of course, but you can expand the knowledge of the cards through the imagery or through your own knowledge of tarot as well. So I just think they feel a really nice cardstock. Really feels really, really nice. I love the colors. Again, you get that similarity to the Magical Nordic, to the Oceanic, to the Crystal Power Tarot, of course. There are differences, but yet similarities in the way that they work, in the way that they have keywords or affirmations or some sort of sentence or something that sort of allows you to sort of expand your knowledge. The imagery, of course, is unique to this deck with the artist, and yeah, I just think this is your Pentacles coming through. So I just think they're just really, really cool deck, really cool. And the way the messages, I think I did them for a few readings in the live, and I just felt that they were really profound messages. So let's have a look. Let's choose a spread, shall we? Now, I'd normally choose like a really small spread, maybe the interview, how to connect with the deck. But I think, let's have a look at this. How do we connect with the deck? Let's have a look. First thing I'm going to look at is tell me about myself. What are your strengths as a deck? What are your limits as a deck? What are you here to teach me? What can I learn from the best from you? And what is the potential outcome of working with you? Okay, so let's just shuffle. Let's fan the cards out. Let's just shuffle for a second, because we are in a sense of putting them, they were in order. Now, with these cards, you'll notice that I always shuffle lengthwise. So we just want to shuffle a little bit. Now, I am going to fan them because because the cards may be in clumps. Let's just fan the cards, and then we're going to get a little bit of a thing here. So let's have a look. The first one we looked at was tell me about myself, and oops, tell me about myself. It's interesting. Picked up the Fool and the Magician at the same time. They wanted to come through, so definitely feels like I'm on a new adventure, and I can use my skills and my talents to work with the deck. Okay, what are your strengths as a deck? Let's have a look. What is the strength here? Is about growth. What are your limits as a deck? Being brave, bravery, strength, endurance. What are your limits? Limits to being how brave you are. How I want to talk about, definitely feels like endurance. Maybe your limit as a deck is here about brave, endurance, strength, courage. Interesting. What are you here to teach me? Passion. That's an interesting one. What can I learn best from you? Ooh, deceit. But Seven of Swords to me is about taking back your power. So I think it's best about taking back your power is what I can get here. I'm not going to look at the negative aspect here. I'm looking to look at the positive side of the card. So for me, I think it's about getting back my power, getting back our power, getting back the power that lies from within. What's the potential outcome of working with you? celebration. So it does feel like working with like-minded people, celebrating life. It's interesting. So let's have a look at so we've looked at that. I don't want to get too complicated, but I do want to have a look at the eye nebula. I might do that as a separate video. Let's just do the shooting star, past, present and future, and then a further insight. Okay, let's just have a look at a little bit of the past, present and future. Let's see what comes through. So we've looked at the connection with the deck, which is interesting to reflect on. Let's have a look at the past shooting star, the past, present and future, and further insight. Okay, so let's have a look here. So we've got past, present, future, and future and further insight. Okay, and I know that's down there, but we'll look at that. We'll pull that out. Don't worry about that. So let's have a look here. So the past, new beginnings, of course. There were the changes and things that happened in the past, of course. In the moment is all about using your skills and abilities. And in the future is about perfection. I think it's about finishing tasks, achieving results, for example. Okay, and so further insight into the whole situation is understanding my own potential. I think it's really about developing my own potential, expanding and growing in what's going to happen in the future. So interesting. So just really quickly wanted to show you the cards, wanted to show you the book, show you a couple of spreads without going into details. Maybe I'll do a bit more once I've sort of dived into the deck a little bit more. I really do need to sort of have a good read, because each of the cards do give you a lot more information, and of course I want to dive into that in a separate video and stuff like that. So that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe and ring the bell so you know when my next video is, and please join us for one of my tarot lives if you'd like a reading, if you'd like a bit more. A basic reading is 2 cards. If you want something a bit more, of course there's a 3-card spread for a timing one, or there is a 4-card spread for a basic tarot reading. Of course there's the love readings, which are normally 6 tarot cards and an oracle. Then there's the $10 reading, which is like 10 tarot and 3 oracle. And then of course there are larger spreads if you want something a bit more in depth. Don't forget to check out Ko-Fi if you want a private reading. Don't forget, if you've had a reading from me, if you write a review on my blog, of course you will get a chance to win a free reading. So that's it from me. Take care and blessed be.